Hey everyone, Grimer here, coming at you with another Valheim build tutorial, and around me you'll see a mini portal hub, or a portal gazebo as I like to call it, that I quickly whipped up here, and it's built entirely out of early game material, which means that if you are just starting off and just starting to get into making portals, you can actually build this. It's all found in the meadows and the Black Forest. You can get all of the supplies here, but let's get right on into the tutorial on how to build this. As with all great builds, it all comes down to picking out the perfect spot, and once you think you found it, go ahead and use the hoe to start leveling out the ground. And you're going to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room here, roughly about as far as you can reach with the radius of the hoe, naturally, not too far. But flatten out the entire ground around you so that you got a nice, clean palette to work with. Once you have your land flattened out, go ahead and pull out the 2-meter beam, the wooden beam here, and we're going to go ahead and place that, kind of eyeball it up on the side of roughly where you're going to be building, right about there. It's good to start off maybe with your entrance, okay? Like if that's where your entrance is going to be, you're going to place it right there. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to rotate this 2 notches, 1, 2, and you're going to want to place 2 more right next to each other. Keep doing this, 2, all the way around, 1, 2, right that, like that, and then 1, 2. Keep doing this all the way around until you have yourself a circle. Okay, you should have a circle kind of like this. Now, sticking with the 2-meter beam, what you're going to do is you're going to want to go perpendicular with one of the flat edges here and place one of the poles down. Now, skip one and go to the next one. What you're going to do is every other flat edge around the circle here, you're going to want to place down a 2-meter beam like that, kind of marking out towards the center. The whole purpose of this is that you can line up your inner ring for the place where you can maybe put a campfire or anything else you might want, maybe an apiary or whatever else, you know, beehive for collecting honey, whatever you want in the center of this thing. It's totally up to you. Okay, and then switch over to the 1-meter wood beam and add that onto the end of these as well. And that should be able to, or that should line you up now so that you can make the inner circle. And what you're going to want to do is, sticking with the 1-meter beam, you want to put it perpendicular 90 degrees around the edge and then just turn it 1 like that. And then do the same thing on this side, so 90 degrees, turn it 1 like that. And then this middle one, just kind of eyeball it, it'll lock to either one. Either one's fine, it'll create the circle part just as it is right there. Now continue this on the other side too, so not 90 degrees, turn it a little bit, place, and then go to the other one here, 90 degrees, turn it outward a little bit, place, and then fill in the middle part. Let it lock to either side, doesn't really matter. Continue that until you have the circle in the middle done. Once you have that circle done, you can actually go ahead and destroy these supports kind of pointing towards the center, because we have it marked out. We are all done with marking on the center circle. But you can take the 1-meter poles, or 1-meter beams that we have here, that we've been using a whole lot to make that inner circle, and go to every pointy part of the circle, the outside circle, and point that directly outwards. So like make sure that like you tilt it and turn it so that it's lining up so it's going directly outwards, and it's even angles on both sides. So you should have this kind of like Eye of Sauron eyeball with a sun design kind of going design around it. Now switch back to your 2-meter wood beams, and what you want to do is do it parallel with the inner circle here. You want to connect it to either side of those little 1-meter beams that you just put out there, and then in the middle of it connect with a 1-meter beam just like that. And you're going to want to continue this all around the outside, connecting it along the way, and so that you create like a double ring around the outside. Now, we are imagining that this is the entranceway for this one here. So what we're going to do is we are going to take the 1-meter poles, and we are going to stick these on the outside. Now, you're going to want to turn them so that they're kind of in line with that 1-meter beam that's right there, so that they're not like lined up parallel with the circle itself. In fact, they're going to be not really lined up either way on either side of it, but they will be lined up with the pole that I'm standing on right here, like that one right there. So you're going to take the 1-meter pole right here, and you're going to turn it so it's lined up with the beam that it's resting on. Do that all the way around. Now, because this is the entranceway right here, we're going to do a little bit of fun stuff here. We're going to take the 1-meter beam, and we're going to make this go in parallel with the beams below it, just like that. And then we're going to switch the 1-meter pole, and we're going to make that be like a support underneath it, like so. You can then go ahead and remove that little section, and then replace it with the 1-meter beam underneath it, like so. In fact, you might want to actually keep it there just temporarily, because what you want to do is add some wood stairs onto that so that it's easy to run up. And if you look, you can kind of overlap them so that they kind of fill that area completely. Like if you look right here, see how it fills the area completely? Once you have that done, you can go ahead and remove these placeholder beams that we placed there so that the stairs kind of walk right up to where the floor is going to be. After you have your entrance defined then, just head on over to the rest of the circle here and take your 2-meter beams, and what you're going to do is copy the layer right below it here by putting like a guardrail along the back side of this, by putting the 2-meter beams on either side, a 1-meter beam on the inside, and then that'll act like a guardrail all the way around. So go ahead and continue doing that between each section here. Okay, if you've done it right, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start adding the supports that go up, okay? So we're going to go and switch to some core wood, okay? So you need to head to the blackboards, collect some of that, and bring it back here. We're going to grab these 4-meter log poles here, and we are going to stick them right on the every single one of these angles, okay? All the way around this thing. Like that. Okay, now switch to the 4-meter log beams. And we're going to go ahead and connect each one of these poles that we just put down with a log beam. Okay, for this next part, you're going to want to grab some ladders because you're going to need to go up top a little bit. And so give yourself a little access way to get there. And grab these 2-meter log poles and stick them right on top of those 4-meter log or the 4-meter log poles that we had placed to add the supports for all this. Get these things placed all the way around this, if you don't fall off like me. Okay, once these things are up in place here, then switch on over to the 4-meter log beams again, and we're going to connect these all the way around as well. Okay, I think that's enough for the supports. Let's finish the floor here so we're not constantly tripping over these beams on the ground here. So what we're going to want to do is switch to the 2x2 floor right here, and using like going with the boards going perpendicular with the supports on the side here, you're going to want to go and place one of these on each and every single one of these this initial outer ring that we had built from the beginning, and go all the way around it. Now you want to go with the boards because it's going to create a kind of a cool little circular design in here, and if you go against it, it's gonna kind of look like a mess. So you should have something kind of like that. And see what I'm talking about, where it creates a circular design kind of going around? I kind of like how that looks a lot better than the other way. But then sticking with the 2x2 floor, you're going to want to actually attach one of these things like to every single one of these little circular things on the inside here. And like that one, you can see it's sticking out in the way. That means it's placed incorrectly. It's sticking into the inner circle. You want to make sure you get it on the actual little 1-meter beam that's actually in the inside there. So you want to go around and place one of these things on all of them. You might be able to get away with placing a couple of these things with just like the 1x1 floor, but to make sure that you get it all covered, I would just do the 2x2. When you have the entire floor put in, it should look something kind of like that. And although it kind of does look a little bit like a jumbled mess, it looks way better than if you put the boards facing the other way. So, alright, now pull out your hammer again and grab the 1x1 wood floors here, and keeping with the same, design as the floor in front of it, we're going to go ahead and line the inside of this little 1-meter trough here with about 4 of those things, just like that. And once you get that in place, you can go ahead and destroy those 1-meter or those 2-meter beams that are right there. That is part of the original circle that we originally had when we first started building this place. Do this all the way around. Alright, there is the floor completely done. Okay, so that'll allow you places here to put a bunch of portals. It looks like, what, 7 of them I think can be placed in here? Let me count real quick. 1, 2, 7 of them. Yeah, you can put 7 portals in this little mini portal hub, which will make for a great location for like if you're at your base and you have a larger portal hub. Maybe the one that's that's linked to the top of the screen right now. I have a tutorial out there to build a portal hub that has room for 30 portals, actually. That's already out there, so please take a look at that if you want one. It works great for like servers. If you have a server where you have a bunch of people playing, they can all put a portal at the larger portal hub that can take them back to their little bases or to their bases wherever they are around the entire world. And you can build one of these things to have other custom portals that take you to various other places that you don't necessarily need to share with the rest of the server. That's the benefit of building this little place. But alright, let's go on to the next step. Go ahead and pull out your hammer again and grab some of this 26-degree thatch roofing right here. And what you're going to do is you want to add this to every single one of these 4-meter log beams that are going across the top here. And you want to do this all the way around. Just make sure that it's locking on the top and not like on the bottom. Like right there, see how that's not right? See how that's kind of too low? You don't want that. You want to lock it on the top. Go ahead and do that on every single one of these. you should have something kind of like this right here. Now, sticking with this 26-degree thatch roofing, you're going to want to find the angle that's in between these two. Like, see how, like, this matches up with this one over here, and then if I rotate it twice, it matches up with this one over here. You want to find the one that's in between, like that. And what you're going to want to do is might have to look. You want to get it to lock just like that. So it looks like looking to the right kind of helps out a little bit. Get it to lock just like that. Either one, actually. So, like, it can lock there or it can lock right there. Either one's fine. Something like that. Do that all the way around here. Find the in-between one and lock it in place. And before we continue on into the middle part of it, go ahead and switch to the 45-degree wood beam. And one thing I thought looked kind of cool, and this is optional, is locking one of those things on right where the joint connects, you know, right where the supports are. And yeah, it sticks up at the top, and it might receive a little bit of rain damage, I think. So this is an entirely optional thing, but I think it looked kind of cool. But if you line it up so it's sticking straight out from every single one of these support beams, it kind of makes an interesting looking little pattern, and looks like it's supporting the roof a little bit more. Okay, with those things added, let's head on inside, and we're going to switch back to the 26-degree thatch roof, and you're going to want to turn it so that it's facing downward, and you're going to want to attach it to the top of every single one of these 4-meter wood beams that are going across the top there, and that should create the entire roof basically already finished then, except for the little center part that we're going to do next. It's time to bust out the ladders again, people. Alright, so go ahead and pull out your hammer and grab some ladders, because we got to get up there, so let's place it somewhere on the outside and see if we can't extend this all the way up here so that we can do a little yeet on top of the roof here. Now, while we're up here, go ahead and take these 2-meter log poles, okay? And you're going to see that on the flat part of the circle that this is formed in here, you're going to want to place one of these things every other spot. So skip it in the middle and put that right there, and then right there. And then if you want to, you can leave it just like that. If you want to, you can go ahead and add one in between two if you think that looks better. Entirely up to you. Personally, I actually kind of do like it, having one every spot along the circle like that. I think that looks pretty cool. Now, we're going to go ahead and switch to the 2-meter log beams then, and we're going to attach that to the top of all of these too. Okay. Should have something that kind of looks like that. It's kind of getting a little red up here, but there's still a little bit left in this bad boy. So go ahead and grab yourself some 45-degree thatch roofing and attach that on the end or on the top of these wood beams here, all the way around. Ta-da! Okay, so the roof is officially done. We can actually get off the roof now, and we can break down our ladders that we use to get up there. And let's go inside here, and this is what we got. Now, it is exposed a little bit on this in the middle there, so if you do put a campfire here, it might go out. You can fix that by literally placing like a roof kind of hidden inside like this on the top, and that'll stop it. But for right now, I'm going to leave it. Let's do a little bit of detailing here by grabbing ourselves, what are they? These 1-meter wood beams, and we're going to put these things all around either side of these wood, the core wood beams that we have, or poles that we have right there. I'm going to place those kind of all the way around there. Now, they're not going to really want to line up too well, but that's fine. You just wing it. There's, whenever you're building circular buildings, you're always going to have this issue where things don't quite line up, and that's fine. When you start getting to this part of the build, near the end of it, you just have to kind of wing it a little bit. But outline this so that it creates a little bit of a trim along the edge of this, and then move on to the next step. And the next step is a fun one, because the next one is placing your portals. Okay, so these little spots right back here along where the back part of the guardrail is the place for the portal. Now, you can put them all the way around here. You have 7 spots for it. You can even go ahead and place yourself a campfire in the middle of this if you think that looks pretty good. Or, like I said, a beehive. A beehive would work as well. But that's basically it. That's the structure. As far as decorating it, it's kind of up to you guys. But I think that's it for this tutorial. So hopefully you guys like this, and hopefully this comes in handy for all of your worlds so that you can build yourself a little mini portal hub, kind of wherever you might be. Now, if you look at this one over here, I went ahead and decorated it up with banners and torches and stuff like that, and it kind of looks nice. So if you want to do something kind of like this, you can certainly do that. But it's entirely up to you. But I think that's it. I think that's going to be it for this build tutorial. So thank you guys so much for donating your eyeballs and ear holes to this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up button before you go. Have fun building this thing, and have a wonderful adventure in your Valheim worlds. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.